Welcome to the Funeral Funds Life Insurance Podcast. I'm your host, Randy Vandervate from Funeral Funds of America, and you can find us at funeralfunds.com. That's funeral, Funds.com. Whether you're interested in term life, whole life, mortgage protection, annuities, disability, business continuation, or final expense life insurance, we have you covered. Our team of experienced professionals will guide you through the complexities of insurance products to help you make an informed decision. In this podcast, I'm going to be discussing 5 ways to avoid life insurance scams. Well, it's a crazy world out there where you got to worry about getting scammed by just about everything you see. And, unfortunately, there are dishonest, nefarious people out there who are just going to try to take advantage of, you know, you and the general public. And it doesn't matter whether that's, you know, buying a used car or life insurance, I suppose, at some points. But we're going to talk about 5 different ways to avoid kind of getting scammed. And scam's kind of a generic term, so just be aware. These are some of them may be common sense, and some of them you just may have not thought about in the past. Our first one is do your research on your agent. That is really important. Insurance agents are required to be licensed. And if they don't have a license, they can't sell the product. They can't talk about the products. There's a whole bunch of regulations what they can and can't do. And any life insurance agent in the United States, they're going to have what's called a national producer number. It's an NPN, national producer number, and that allows them to be able to sell in any of the states. And then each state's going to regulate its own state and its own business. And therefore, each state the insurance agent does business in, they're going to have a different writing number. Now, a lot of the states will create a new and unique writing number and writing number just means that they've got the ability to write you up a life insurance policy. But some of the states have their own numbering system. And then I'd say maybe a third, quarter of the states actually just use the agent's national producer number as the license number for that state. It's kind of, with the United States, there's just a hodgepodge of laws and rules and regulations. But understand, at a minimum, there's going to be an NPN number. And then depending on the state, it could be an NPN number or just their own unique number. But you can search your agent super easy. All you need to do on the internet is just put the agent's name, first and last name, and let's say Texas. Texas. So you'd put John Doe, Texas life insurance agent lookup number, and look up LOOKUP and then number. And that should take you directly to or it should offer you some suggestions. And the number one suggestion should be the state licensing page. You can go on there. You can put the actual number in there, the actual writing number or NPN number. Or in most cases, you don't have that. You could just put the agent's first and last name. And if their last name is unique, then like Vandervate, that's my name's Randy Vandervate, of course. Vandervate's unique, and you can just put that. I'm going to be the only one. So, but if it's Smith, there's going to be a whole bunch of Smiths. So you would definitely want the first name. Put that in there. It will pull it up, and you'll be able to see that that they are licensed. You'll see where they're located, where they're licensed out of. In many cases, you'll be able to see actually the insurance companies that they're actually approved and contracted to sell with. And that's why when a lot of agents say, oh yeah, we work with the top 30 or 40 or 50 insurance companies, they're lying. They don't. They're only contracted with, those people are typically maybe only contracted with, I don't know, 1, 2, or 3. And yet they'll say, hey, yeah, we've got all these different insurance companies. Well, it's kind of like going to a car lot, car dealer lot, and saying, yeah, I've got access to all these cars. Well, no, you've only got access to one car. That's the one you drove in or the one you own, right? That you've actually got possession of. So just a lot of insurance, they want to kind of inflate how important they are and use language. So just, again, just be very wary. If agents are using wording like that, you don't want to do business with them anyway. This is an important purchase. They need to be truthful. I mean, and that kind of dips into my number 2 topic today is watch out for red flags. If your insurance agent is saying things that are even slightly, is there such a thing as slightly untrue? It's either untrue or it's not, right? So when they say we work with the top 50 companies or 40 or 30 companies, well, do they? We'll go check them out, see how many companies they're working with, right? And if they're going to lie about things like that, why would you ever want to do business with them? Just absolutely stupid. Yeah, don't do it. Also, just be wary of offers that are like too good to be true. 9.95 per month, 9.95 per unit. Actually, it's not per month. 9.95 per unit. You can get life insurance. Well, yeah, but most of the people, are going to be older that are buying that final expense whole life insurance product. And in many cases, they're only going to be getting hundreds of dollars worth of coverage when they need tens of twenties of thousands of dollars. So be really wary of anything that's sold on a per unit basis. That product is just being sold per unit so that they can get a 9.95 number, and you need to add a whole bunch of those units together to get any appreciable amount of coverage. And I'm purposely not saying the company's name, but there's companies out there that use tactics like that. So just be aware of it. And I'm in no way saying it's a scam. It's marketing. All right. It's marketing. But if you look at the reviews on companies like that, a lot of people feel that they've been scammed. And I'm here to tell you they haven't been scammed. It is marketing, and it's buyer beware. Another thing is high pressure sales. Man, in this day and age, so much of the life insurance sale has switched over to telesales or Zoom calls or things like that. You know what? If you're getting put through some really high pressure, you know what all you got to do? Click, you know, disconnect. Because as a consumer, you don't need to deal with high pressure salesmen. And it's really silly from an insurance standpoint, because insurance agent standpoint, because you want quality business. You want to help people, and you want them to have a plan that they're going to stay with. And if you pressure somebody into something like this, then the people just cancel within 30 days and get a full refund. So it's dumb, but there's a lot of dumb uh, things that agents do out there. The fifth way to avoid getting scammed with life insurance is beware of the cost. So, holy cow. Now, cost isn't necessarily a scam, it can be, but there is definitely some insurance companies out there that are way more expensive than other ones. And when you find out that you paid like twice as much as you should have, then a lot of people says, I was scammed, right? And those 990 something commercials or 995 plans, right? We did a whole bunch of videos on those on YouTube, and we did it by age and coverage amount and everything. We found out those 995 plans were on average, just on average, around 200% more expensive than first day coverage plans. So, people that sign up for a plan like that and find out that they're paying double what they should have, in most cases, they're going to be disappointed. And in many cases, they're quite angry. And then that word scam comes out. And again, it's not a scam. It's buyer beware. It is clever marketing. And they round a bunch of people up into those plans. And again, you probably heard of them. I'm not going to say the name. They're a legitimate company, but marketing. Just watch out for it. The fourth way to avoid life insurance scams is to just understand and review the policy. So that kind of comes back to some of these wild claims by, the marketing teams at these insurance companies, $1 for your first month. That typically refers to a term life insurance policy that's going to cost you $1 that first month, and then it's going to be your standard premium the following month. And then what's going to happen? That's what's called a 5-year age banded policy. Every 5 years, your policy is going to increase in price. Typically, when your birthday ends with a 1 or a 6, so like 1951 or 1956, that price is going to go up. and it's just going to go up every 5 years. And then it's typically going to cancel once you get beyond age 80. The challenge is with those plans is most people get priced out of those plans. The price goes up if you're on a fixed or limited income. That's what those products are targeted at, is folks with fixed or limited incomes are sold as kind of final expense burial insurance policies and lower face amounts. And what ends up happening is the price keeps going up every 5 years, and all of a sudden people can't afford it because it's every 5 years it's recalculating at your age, which is now 5 years older, and people end up having to cancel the policy. And now that's been nothing but profit for the insurance company, because all you've done is paid in increasing premiums, and you cancel the policy because it got too expensive and they never had to pay out. All profit. That's why it's lower price on the front end and it gets unreasonably expensive to most folks in the back end. The other disadvantage of that is if you are blessed to live a long life and you outlive the plan, now you paid those premiums your whole life. And even if you die 1 or 2 days after that policy ends, they're not going to pay out anything, and contractually anyway. And it's been all profit for them. So again, marketing, it's a marketing deal. Just same thing with the 995 plans. Just understand the policy, understand what's going on with it. It goes back to point number one: do your research on your agent. Your agent should be able to help you. At Funeral Funds of America, we're brokers. We don't work with one single company. That would be what's called a captive agent. They can only sell that one insurance company's product. And typically that's going to be much more expensive. And if you have some medical conditions that are unique, you probably won't get first day coverage, or you'll get declined, or you'll get what's called get rated up, which means more expensive because of your health. And what we do at Funeral Funds of America, we work with a bunch of different insurance companies. And what we do is we go out and look for these companies that have these little spots in their underwriting where they're more flexible or more favorable, and we can actually get people immediate first day coverage at the lowest pricing. So most agents aren't going to have that ability or that flexibility. And if, insurance companies, they even change on a yearly basis. They may accept some risk 1 year, and then next year they've seen that they've had too many claims with that, and they will change the application questions to reflect that, and they will no longer cover that. So we're just always trying to keep our finger on the pulse of the marketplace to find out what companies are allowing this and what companies are disallowing that. And that just helps us really just serve you the best by getting you the most insurance for the least amount of money. And then number 5 is, just don't rush into a decision. That kind of comes back to number 2, watch out for red flags. But if you're getting pressured into buying something, you shouldn't do it. But think about it. Life insurance shouldn't be a pressure purchase, right? You need it. You're going to die. So think about it. A life insurance purchase shouldn't involve sale pressure, right? Because you need it. People who get life insurance know they need it. There's all sorts of things. Some people say they need to think about it, they need to pray about it, they need to, you know, wait for the moon to go around the earth one more time, or whatever it is, right? Um, but the number one reason people don't get this insurance is they just procrastinate. And so when I say don't rush into a decision, that doesn't mean procrastinate, because there's nothing more more important than decisions in life that are life or death decisions. And that's truly what this is. And, life insurance is something that when you pass away, if you don't have it in place, it impacts other people, impacts your family, your loved ones, your children. And not having life insurance so often is just a generational mistake. It will impact generations worth of your family because you didn't have it in place. And 20, 30 years from now, they'll still be feeling the consequences of you not having insurance and them having to struggle or lose the home or, have to make bad decisions. Or maybe, maybe you're the husband, you didn't have life insurance, and, now your spouse is in this huge financial pinch, has to sell the house. Maybe they're making relationship decisions in the future that are based on finances and not on security and love and what's actually best for them. That happens all the time. I can't make it on my own. This guy's a good provider, but he's not necessarily the person I want them to be. But man, I can't afford to lose the house or the. So just understand that life insurance isn't always just about money and replacing income and things like that. It's about protecting family and protecting relationships and protecting that who's left behind and the relationships they get into. And all of these things are just generational impacts that so many people don't think about. And we kind of ended on a heavy note there, but people don't often think about that. If you put your surviving spouse or partner or loved one in a bad position, at some point they're going to have to make decisions that are not in their best interest just due to finances. And if you said, on that altar or whenever you got married, for better or for worse, in sickness or death, you know, that means it. I hope you meant that. And just look at that from a life insurance standpoint. This is just one financial tool that if you haven't been able to achieve the results that you wanted financially to protect your loved ones, life insurance is one of the most amazing products in the world to take care of that. So there you go. 5 ways to avoid life insurance scams. My name is Randy Vandervate, and I hope this podcast has been helpful to you. Funeral Funds of America can help you qualify for first day coverage or benefits at funeralfunds.com. That's funeral, FUNDS.com. And our phone number is 888-862-9456. We will be blessed to help you with this in the future. Until that day comes, stay safe, take care, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.